My name is Chris Hanna, the author of The Adventures of Captain Cochlear and Maestro Mutt, and this is Toyquest101.
My name is Ileana, this is my father Miguel.
And today we have a special episode lined up for you guys. I'm excited not only because we have Chris, but our partners at Kotobukiya sent us these two very cool Artfx Plus statues here. And they're about the comic book line that DC created, Super Sons, I'm sorry. And we have Superboy, Jonathan Kent and Krypto right here. And Ileana's holding Robin and Ace the Bat Hound. And we're gonna dive deep into these statues and review them later on during the show. But the reason why the show is super special because Chris has an amazing story about a real life super dog. And we're gonna dive deep into that as well. So Chris, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself so our viewers can get to know you?
I am a elementary school music teacher in Vineland. I teach music K through 5. And yeah, I have a really awesome dog that I adopted a little over a year ago named Cole.
Awesome. So Liana, why don't you ask the question?
As a teacher, I know you come across many students with special needs. Is there anyone in your life with special needs that inspires you?
Absolutely. My motivation behind the story is my nephew Kevin, who is a 5th grader and is deaf and has cochlear implants. And he also has a sister who passed away a couple years ago. Her name's Molly, and she had a special need called Down syndrome. So they inspire everything that I do.
Wow, that's amazing. And here, as you guys know, in Toyquest101, our mission is to inspire kids with special needs, right? So this is huge that you're here on our show. We greatly appreciate it. So, but not only can humans have special needs, but so can animals. Tell us about Cole that you mentioned earlier.
So I decided I wanted to adopt a dog, and I logged on to the SPCA website here in Cumberland County, and the very first puppy that popped up said special needs, and it was like, I got to click it, so I clicked on it, and it said its special need was, it was deaf. And I instantly thought of my nephew.
Yeah, that's like perfect.
Yeah, like the stars aligned.
Yeah.
And I said, this is going to be an amazing little adventure. So about a couple weeks later, we finally brought Cole home and started his training and his adventures, and it's been amazing.
Now, what
really
kind of dog is Cole?
Cole is an American Bulldog Staffordshire Terrier mix.
Wow. We have an American Bulldog, right? Yeah, we have an American Bulldog named Remy. But that's an amazing story. So before we dive deeper into that, why don't we start with opening up one of the statues? So Ileana, which one do you want to open up first?
Robin.
All right, let's do Robin. So Ileana has the Robin, which is Damian Wayne, which is Batman's son, for those who don't know, and his Bat Hound named Ace. So Ileana, let's see, help you out there. Pop it here. You want to lay it down and go ahead and start pulling it out. Go ahead. Got it. There you go. And again, these Artfx Plus statues from Kotobukiya are PVC. And Ileana, go ahead and took out Robin. So Chris, why don't you grab Robin and show the camera right here. And what do you think about the details on Robin, Chris?
That is unbelievable.
Pretty neat, right?
Yeah, even the details in the hair and the eyes.
Yep.
Wow.
And there's been a lot of Robins in Batman's life, but this is his actual son, which is neat. And now we have the star of the show, right? Or one of the stars of the show, since we're talking about animals and their special needs. And we have Ace the Bat Hound. So Ileana, why don't you show Ace real quick? Now Ace comes with a second head that's detachable. One's with his mask or his cowl, and the other one is without. So you guys can take it off just like this. This should pop out, and we can put the other one right here like this. But I think we like them better with a mask, so let's pop this one back out here and put him right here, and that's what he looks like there, guys. And Ileana has the base. So Ileana, why don't you show them the base real quick? And it's pretty neat because it has Batman's logo. So the base goes first, which is kind of nice for the presentation of the statue. There's a magnet here, and boom. And this is what it looks like. Let's take the head out so you guys can see it turning on the turntable. So what do you think, Chris? Pretty neat?
That's really cool.
Yeah. What do you think, Ileana? You like it? It's cool, right? And you know, Robin has a little bit of an attitude, and so does his dog. So it's pretty neat because it makes them the characters that they are. So it's a pretty cool statue. And again, made of PVC, and it comes with the detachable head that you could interchange within the dog itself.
Since meeting Cole, what have you done to inspire others with his story?
Well, when I first got Cole, I decided that I started coming up with ideas. I wanted to write a book about my nephew and Cole because they share that special bond of deafness. And a lot of the people in our community aren't aware of people that are deaf, and they've never met someone who's deaf. So I started talking to my students about it, and through using Cole, through his eyes, they started to understand what it means to be deaf. And then they started to kind of learn about my nephew. And together, through the Captain Cochlear story that we wrote, it brings an awareness to students that you know, deafness is just one of the disabilities that are out there, but just because it's a disability doesn't mean you can't be what you want to be. You can do anything you want to do. So.
And that's amazing. So that's super cool, and I think that's special in its own self. So tell us about this comic book, and as you guys can see, we have some of the covers here for the comic book. The actual comic book is over there. But tell us about the comic book, how it came about, and how have you been able to use it to impact others?
So the comic book was originally an idea that I had. Cole is in something called the SPCA Dog of the Year contest.
Okay.
So I had the idea of writing this comic book and sell them, and all the proceeds would go to Cole's quest to become the Cumberland County Dog of the Year. So I presented the idea to a group of my 5th graders at my school, and we took a dry erase board and markers, and we just brainstormed ideas about the plot. And then I noticed that their ideas were just incredible. And then I did it with my next class, and the next thing you know, it was 2 weeks later, and I had done it with, I think, 16 classrooms in my building. So I had about 250 students who all collaborated in the idea. Every character that's in the comic book is something to do about me. I'm very transparent with my students. They know a lot about me. Even my 15-year-old pug, who was in there, that has like 3 teeth, and one of them's like a snaggletooth. They made her one of the big villains. But the whole idea of the story is about a little girl named Annie who was super, super shy because she was afraid she sounded different than everybody else, and she was afraid to get up and sing in her music class. And there was this evil Dr. Fear. Of course, the students made me Dr. Fear, so I'm Dr. Fear in the story. And it's all about how Captain Cochlear and Maestro Mutt kept overcoming obstacles to help Annie get through that fear that she had of singing in front of her classmates. And along the way, there were many different roadblocks that they were hitting, and they eventually overcame it. And the end of the story is Annie actually sang louder than she ever had, and she ended up auditioning for her school play and got a lead part.
Wow.
So it's, you know, the story's just about you believing in yourself and not worrying about what others think. You just do what you need to do for yourself, and you can achieve whatever you really want to achieve.
And that's amazing, not only because of the story, but how the comic book is created. I mean, that's a story in itself. So that's very, very neat. I mean, you should be very proud of yourself. I mean, I know that's something that when we read up on it, we were like, amazing, we got to have you on the show. So super cool. And thank you for doing that. Because here at Toyquest101, we want to, you know, our mission is to do the same and spread awareness and stuff. And I think it's really amazing what you're doing. So, Leanna, why don't you ask your third question?
Why is it important to spread awareness of human and animals with special needs?
I've always had a very special place in my heart for special needs students. This is really my first experience with a special needs animal, and it's opened my eyes. It's opened up a lot of people's eyes. Our story has really brought great conversation about special needs, whether it's kids, whether it's adults, whether it's animals, anything. And it's important for all of us in our community and our society to be aware that just because someone has a disability or a special need, they're going to be better at something than you are. Just like I'm going to be better than something that somebody else is. My nephew is an amazing drummer, and even though he can't hear, he made his All South Jersey band, and he is just like any other kid, and he's just as creative, and he's got all these wonderful ideas, and and anybody with special needs has those. And we just want everybody to understand that just because somebody's a little bit different, it's actually cool. And that person, you can accept them for who they are, and people are going to love you no matter what. And then it's just kind of about spreading the message that whether it's a dog, whether it's a cat, whether it's a hamster or a human, just because they have a special need, they're just like anybody else.
And that's amazing. And like I said before, I keep mentioning it, I love that story. Just because I don't think I know there's a lot out there that helps people understand certain things about special needs, but there isn't really a lot that tries to spread awareness on. We did a couple shows before, and we consider us almost like a talk show for kids and adults, but on TV and even in the comic books, there's really nothing out there that really sheds some light on somebody or anybody with special needs. And even in the cartoons, I don't really think there's any. The only person I can really think of right off the top of my head, Daredevil was blind. He's a superhero. But I love this because, again, there's not that many comic books out there shedding light on this, and there's not many talk shows and stuff. So we're all about sharing the awareness, and sharing it together is obviously awesome. So let's get started on our last statue. And by the way, we are going to meet Cole later on, and I know Liana's excited, right, to meet the superhero dog, the real life superhero dog. So we're going to do that in a little bit, but let's open up Superboy, Jonathan Kent, and Krypto. So Chris, does your nephew like superheroes? Does he like comic books and stuff like that?
Absolutely.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's kind of why I went the comic book route.
Nice.
With the bullet.
Nice. So we're gonna go ahead and open up Superboy, Jonathan Kent. And as you know, Superboy is very strong. So when opening these guys, it's a couple layers of plastic, so just be careful they don't just jump out on you. And let's start with the base first. So the base is on the bottom, and of course it has the Superman logo right there. And there it is. We're gonna put that. Now this does have a magnet on it, so the statues could stay on it. Let's get Jonathan Kent, who's just a boy. As you can see, he has his cape on, he has a hoodie, his pants are all torn up, he's got some shoes on there too, some Adidas. But he definitely has the kid features, which is kind of neat. And I love this comic book series because, again, I think even me as an adult, but I know when I was a kid, I always wanted to be a superhero. And here's his dog here with his cape and stuff. That's also pretty neat. And there it is right there. And what do you think, Liana? Like him? Mm-hmm. It's pretty cool, right? And the details on the dog seem kind of snarling and stuff. Mm-hmm. It's neat. His cape is kind of in the wind, even though he's sitting down. That's and it's pretty neat. So let's put them together. Let me just put these guys on the floor here. Put this box down here. And let's see if I could squeeze Damian on there. We'll put them back to back. Boom. Pretty neat. So again, guys, if you guys are interested in these statues, if you go to kotous.com, Kotobukiya is a partner of ours, and like I said, they send us these statues for us to review. They're very affordable. You guys are gonna see the links down in our video bio. And they're cool because again, it's superheroes and their pets. So Chris, I want to thank you so much for obviously being on the show, spreading awareness for such a special cause. I think it's amazing what you're doing, and I, wish you luck in your efforts and, moving forward with that. It's pretty neat. Why don't you tell our viewers how they could find more information about the comic book, about yourself, your nephew, the dog, your Facebook page, all your social medias.
So we have, Cole has a Facebook page. It's called the Team Cole Project. If you go into Facebook and Cole the Deaf Dog, Instagram as well, Cole the Deaf Dog, and the same with YouTube. So they're all kind of linked together. It gives you information about our t-shirts, our magnets, buttons, we have bracelets, and the comic book, most importantly. So get any of the information you need from any of those three. You can message us directly, and I'll definitely hook you guys up.
Yep, and we want to obviously help Chris and their adventure with being the dog of the year, right?
Yep.
So how do we do that?
If you go on South Jersey Regional Animal Shelter.org, that's a tongue twister, and if you click the link that says cast your vote for Dog of the Year, the Dog of the Year winner is based on the number of donations that the dog gets. So the dog that receives the most donations will be crowned the Dog of the Year champion. Cole is, I believe, the first special needs dog they've ever had in the contest.
Wow, so that's amazing.
It's pretty awesome.
And those donations go to
The Cumberland County SPCA.
to help other
Animals, other families, hopefully have a story kind of like Cole and I.
That's awesome. So we definitely want to help out there. So all you viewers, if you want to go ahead, and again, I'm going to have all that information for you in the bio of the video down below to help spread this message, the awareness obviously, and let's shoot for that #1 spot for the Dog of the Year. So something that we do on our show with our guests, especially somebody like you, we have a lot of celebrity guests come onto our show. A lot of people come to our show, but I think the best guests that come on our show are the ones with stories like yours. I don't think no celebrity could top that. Although we had some amazing celebrities come that do a lot for their community and stuff. Things like this are special to us because it's local, it's in the community, and it's a special story. We want to help bring it out there. So here at Toyquest101, we want to present you with an inspirational award. Here it is right here. So it's a Toyquest101 Inspirational Role Model Award. Leanna, go ahead and put it on. And this is just so you could be proud of what you're doing. And just know that you're not only impacting people around you, but people around the world are going to be, looking at stories like this, and it might take one person somewhere on the other side of the world that's going to go ahead and appreciate what you're doing. And I know from us here, we always appreciate that a lot. That's what gets us going. So thank you for that. We also want to give you one of the statues from Kotobukiya. We want to give you Jonathan Kent and his super dog, right?
Awesome.
Only because I think it's perfect for you guys.
Yeah.
And for your nephew, we didn't forget about him. We want to give him a Superman medals collectible. It's a die-cast Superman from Batman vs. Superman. Yana, why don't you show the camera there? So that way he could have something to remember us by, and just let him know that we appreciate him and everything he's done, and you guys as well. So thank you very much, Chris. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And
have a hug.
Thank you. And now we're moving on to our second segment of the show. We're actually going to meet the star of the comic book, Cole, and I'm super excited to meet him. Right, Ileana? It's going to be super special, so stay tuned with us. All right, guys. See you later.
Hey guys, it's Ileana from Toyquest101.
And we are here at Chris's school, and we're finally going to meet Cole for Team Cole.
Right this way.
Let's go. Hey guys.
Hi guys, how are you?
What's up? Oh man.
Welcome to Menny's.
Ah.
How are you?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Shake hands.
Oh,
I think
just
he
lay
just
down.
wants-
Oh.
I think you have a new friend.
Yeah. All right, so we're finally here. We're finally meeting Cole. tell us about his superhero attire.
He has his official Maestro Mutt, which is his character in the comic book. His cape and his goggles that he wears at all of our appearances.
That is awesome. So tell us a little bit about how Cole interacts with his kids in your classroom.
So Cole has a few different jobs. Cole's main job is he supports children who are a little bit shy, a little bit lacking in confidence. So he kind of senses who these children are sometimes, and he'll just kind of go and lay on their lap, and it's amazing how much harder those students will try just having the comfort of Cole nearby. And he also works with students for reading. Really? Students who struggle with reading, they actually get a book and they sit with him on a mat and they read to Cole, and it really does improve their reading.
Yeah, it builds their confidence and stuff, right? Yeah, I mean, right when we walked in, he laid down right next to Liana. It's pretty cool. Tell us a little bit about your classroom. I see you have Maestro Mutt and your nephew there on the...
Yeah, that's the original Captain Cochlear photo shoot with Maestro Mutt that we were lucky enough to have in USA Today.
That is awesome. And what about this daily journal here? You got a nice plaque here?
Yeah, my awesome bosses here at Menny's had this made for me. They took the article and they embossed it into the wood. So it's gorgeous, and it's hung outside in the hallway so all of the students can be reminded about the project that they worked on.
That is awesome. And Cole looks so cool. Now, Liana, don't you have a question for him?
Yeah, can you show us our superheroes tricks?
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
I'm sure Cole would love to do some tricks.
All right, Liana, why don't you stand here? We're going to see the superhero powers right here live.
So Cole uses a vibration collar a lot of times, and in the comic book it's actually his magic remote collar, and it allows him to sense things. So you want to do a nose beeper. So Cole's a little black spot on his nose, and we beep it. Beep. Beep. You don't like wearing your vest. You really nasty.
All right.
And let's sit. Can you like and focus. The boy. And sit up. Beep. Beep. There it is.
Nice.
You want to jump to your hula hoop up? Oh. Good job. And the hula hoop was actually, the first time Cole tried to do it, he fell and he got tangled in it. He was super afraid to ever go through the hula hoop again. But then through hard work, he kind of didn't give up, which was sort of our message. So it's kind of funny how it worked out that way.
Yeah, that's awesome. And how long did it take for him to learn all this and get used to your students as well?
He kind of had a natural love of children from the get-go. We would bring him in when I first got him as a puppy, just to kind of meet the kids. And he would just love to be near them. But then we decided that it'd be perfect for Cole to become a therapy dog. So then we started some pretty intensive training for about 9 months before he was able to take the test, and then he passed with flying colors. So.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing a great job. I mean, here he just met us, and he loves it so far. Look at him.
Yeah.
Showing off, huh?
Yeah, he does on a daily basis.
That's awesome. So we want to thank you again for being on the show. Thank you, Cole. Appreciate it, bud. And we want to continue supporting you, and we're going to cross our fingers for that award at the end of the year. And then can you just tell us one more time what our viewers need to do to go ahead and vote for Cole?
You can go on South Jersey Regional Animal Shelter.org. There's a link there for events for Dog of the Year. You can click Cole and donate, and all of the dogs are competing with the most donations. The dog with the most donations is going to be the Dog of the Year. We also have the Team Cole Project GoFundMe page as well.
Awesome. And you also have social media?
Yep, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, all at Cole the Deaf Dog.
Awesome. And you guys are going to find all of that in the comments below the bio of the video for you guys to go ahead and check out for yourselves. So Chris, thanks again. I really appreciate it. It's an awesome experience, and we love what you're doing here. Keep up the good work, inspiring others and bringing awareness. So thank you.
Definitely.
See you guys.